Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Gamelitical Correct podcast. We have a load of news. Gotta show it off. We have a load of news from Xbox this week. It's been mental, bro.
That's the news that we actually hope for. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
If you don't know what we're talking about,
definitely need
just
to
go
check
to-
out the last episode, bro.
Okay, not really hope for.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely not. Yeah, that's not a very
Definitely
good
not,
news.
yeah.
Do you want to make the honors or me?
You take it away.
All right. So we finally got the number, an initial number, because
Yeah.
you know what's gonna happen after 1 year.
Oh, we could see it coming.
Yeah, the beginning, as we said already, we predicted. I thought it would have been a bigger number, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day,
it's not small.
it's not small either. Yeah, but based on all these rumors that they were saying, it's gonna be a massive number and all that. Okay, the final verdict is Xbox laying off 3,200 employees.
Absolutely mental.
We have developers and we have management as well. We'll discuss about it anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the beginning, they will start laying off 1,600 people. And during the next financial year, this financial year that started at the beginning of July, they will lay off another 16,000. That's what is already planned.
1,600.
1,600, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, 100. It's absolutely mental. I think it's needed, to be honest. I think it's absolutely needed. Like on a massive scale restructure of Xbox is what's needed at this point.
Yeah.
It's not like it is a bad thing, people losing jobs, as we've said before. It's terrible. But I genuinely think that Xbox has grown so much and it's so unneeded as well. So these layoffs are, expected, to say the least. They're needed right now.
Definitely. And as I told you later, hopefully I will find the graph to send it to you. You know what I mean? I saw the graph, and the way that they grow, during this new generation, it was crazy. Yeah, I did get it. With the Blizzard and Activision acquisition, is you will get another 8,000, 10,000 people. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
you expect to have that big of a jump. You know what I mean? But as I mentioned, they had an amazing, large actually growth that, based on the profits and revenue, didn't you cannot grow like that much. You cannot make a jump to one to 100. You know what I mean? You cannot do that. You need to go slowly.
Remember when I said that you cannot actually grow that fast. You have to scale very slowly to where you want to go, because the new developers cannot integrate into your company, naturally.
Yeah,
you cannot just do that in any company across any industry. You cannot. Sorry about that. You cannot just grow like that. It's unnatural and it doesn't work. That's like.
On
Go ahead.
On the good news, I don't know if it's a good news though, but at least we have the transparency. As Sharma make the announcement over an X post. Literally, the only thing that it did was copy paste the email that is sent to the whole workforce, which is a very, it's not a good news. Let's be honest, but for us gamers as a community, it's nice to see it transparency.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that matters.
It is what it is at the moment. Yeah, it is what it is. But I think Asa Sharma straight up makes very good decisions at the moment. The decision that she has made, to my eyes at least, seem like that they are with gamers first in mind. Like these decisions that I see from her, I like them, and I think that those are the decisions that are needed in the current time and space. You know,
Yeah, and
definitely.
I told you already. She doesn't have any gaming background,
Hmm.
and she needs to either have an amazing consultant that knows very well the industry and how the whole thing works, or just search around social media, X, whatever, Blue Sky, anything, I mean, like YouTube
Hmm.
videos, and find out what gamers want, or like what gamers feel when they
Hmm.
see the Xbox logo. Are
Yeah.
they like confident that they will have a nice future? Is this confidence all gone forever? Which, in my opinion, the last 2 years, there is no any positivity, I mean, around Xbox. Hope,
In gamers' hearts, there is no hope on Xbox, except from the literal leeches that are on Game Pass, and
yeah,
like, oh, that's all they want from Xbox. Except from those people, there is no hope on
yeah.
the in this company, and I think what Asha does at the moment is she's trying the best she can. I don't know if it's an advisor, as you're saying. I don't know if it's all by herself. I'm like 99% sure that she has some advisors, but
Wow, yeah.
it seems like that she's taking every step along the way with gamers first in mind.
Hopefully she will
these
carry on like
this
that.
Yeah, hopefully she carries on, and it's a great course in my eyes, and it seems like these decisions are not just for the company, are not just best for the company, not just best for business. They do seem to be consumer focused.
Yeah.
These decisions that we've seen so far, yes, they are best for business as well, but she has a spirit, and it seems like she wants also what's best for gamers as well.
I mean, at this point, you cannot do anything else, right? Like, as she said so many times in this like email, the Xbox business is not healthy.
Hmm.
So you either gonna listen your consumers, or the ship will follow. You will continue like sinking. You know what I mean? Like when you have a sinking ship, you need to actually find a way to save it, or like save as many things as you can from the ship. But yeah, like when at the beginning when I said that we were expecting something bigger, I thought that we'll have a lot of closures, studio
Hmm.
closures, which, yeah, it's not a good thing, but at least one of the positive things that happened last week actually, it was that we didn't have any closures.
Yeah.
We know that she already, I think, like sell some studios, like 4 studios they leaving Xbox, which is, in
Mhm.
my opinion, like other like CEO, she might have thought like, what, ditch them. But
Yeah.
she's, yeah, but she was like, she listened Compulsion, she listened Ninja Theory, she listened like Undead Labs, all these like studios, they just ask for her like to find a solution, to either become indie or like find a different investors. And she spent this time to actually find a solution to don't lose these, studios in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These decisions are in part with consumers in mind, because nobody wants to see these studios close. Ninja Theory, Compulsion, these are amazing studios, and no, not one gamer wants to see them gone. And she says, you know what? Either you can go and find other investors, or you can go indie, but you're not shutting down. You're not getting closed, and that's amazing.
And I
Yes, Xbox themselves cannot support these studios, but they could have just as well closed them, but they didn't.
Yeah,
She didn't. She at least I think, yeah.
and if I heard correctly, I might be wrong here, but I think Xbox will continue helping build these games that they have right now. Like for example, the new Senua's, the new Hellblade, they will continue funding. Like they will help them to finish this
Hmm.
product, even though they will be under the new like leadership. They will try to help them as well to deliver this product.
Yeah.
Same goes with the Undead Labs and Stay of Decay 3. And to be honest with you, this studio was one of the huge controversies because people they didn't expect that. You know, obviously it took a long time since they make the last game, but State of Decay is really huge survival title for
Mm.
Xbox, and people that were like baffled. They were like, "What's going on? Why you decide like to cut ties with Undead Labs?" You know, I mean, which
Yeah.
is I found it weird as well, but you know what's going on in these kind of like companies when
Yeah.
they
That's
try to save
business. Yeah.
themselves. Yeah, it's business.
That's business at the moment. I've said this before, but uh, being you know being thought of first as gamers is great, but then at the end of the day, these are businesses, and they're going to do what's best for business.
Yeah,
It's great that we've seen most of the decisions we've seen are with gamers in mind, but if at the end of the day the one or two decisions are going to take down Xbox as a whole, they're not gonna take them.
I mean, we already know that from her message. You know, she said
Yeah.
that the Xbox business is not healthy. Its profit margins are significantly lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. And Xbox enter that's one of the craziest things that she said. Like Xbox entered the generation with a smaller console audience and a very expensive operating structure. And that's what I say to you about the Game Pass. Like they had this ambition, the previous like heads, that Game Pass will reach 100 million by 2030, based on a very low player base generation, because
Hmm.
Xbox One, it was really bad. Like how you
Yeah.
planning so far ahead when you have the worst possible generation for your company, and you're so optimistic that Game Pass will reach 100. How you'll get them back?
I mean, it was in an era of bad decision after bad decision.
Yeah,
These decisions couldn't stop coming, and the expectation of 100 million players. Are you kidding?
yeah, that's mad. Yeah,
These are. I don't know. Let's put it into perspective. All right, 100 million players is probably close to a tenth of the total player base worldwide. Not just Xbox.
we're not talking about mobiles here. Let's make it clear,
Yeah,
guys.
I
Okay,
mean,
we're not talking
okay, yeah,
about mobile.
no, yeah, not mobile, not any Clash of Clans over here.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
we're talking about gaming. All right, so we're talking about Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, and PC.
Yeah.
Like 100 million players are a tenth of the whole industry, and to expect a tenth of any group of people to subscribe to you is just
Yeah.
out of the question.
Anyway, if you follow this podcast long enough, you will understand. We already like express our feelings about Game Pass.
Yeah.
We know that we know that you know already that we are against it. But yeah, the problem, yeah, it's not that. Like even and as you mentioned, like Game Pass, multi-platform publishing and studio expansion did not grow as quickly as expected. That's another thing. Like you had Game Pass, and then because you didn't have a lot of revenue, you end up being a third-party company, and then you didn't generate so much money. Which, in my opinion, this this decision give them some money as well, because Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves went ballistic on PS. Really,
Hmm.
everyone was buying. Like I think 6 or 7 million people bought like Sea of Thieves. So you generate some money from there, and that's what I'm saying. These mishandles that Game Pass and all these stupid leadership did, the previous leadership did is crazy, dude. It's like I don't understand how they did this stuff.
It's crazy to think about, but these are the kind of decisions they've made that they've brought them to this stage that we're living through right now. If they've made good decisions throughout the last generation's lifetime of Xbox, we wouldn't have to see a new CEO come in. We wouldn't have to see all these layoffs. We wouldn't have to see all these studio divestments, how they call them, not closures, but you know what I mean. We wouldn't have to see any of this if throughout these last like 5 or 6 years or more, probably more, the decisions that were made were the correct ones, and they were not. Absolutely not.
There is a lot of stuff, bro. A lot of stuff. I think one of the things that we were reading that day and blew our minds.
Blew
She
my
was
mind.
like, yeah, our minds, because that thing was crazy. I remember sending this to you because you were working, and then you were like, "There is no way." Like how, in some cases, guys, in some cases, they some decisions, whatever, I mean, all this decision making went through more, no more, up to 14 layers of management. 14 layers of management. One
That
four.
is stupid.
Yeah.
That is absolutely stupid of a business model
Yeah.
to run. Who needs 14 layers of management? Like, what are you managing? Like, probably the US government doesn't have 14 layers of management. What are you building? What are you managing? Well, what does it need to be? Like, so unhinged. Like, this is so unhinged. 14 layers of management. It's crazy. And I would like to say I hate to sound like a broken record, but I love to sound like a broken record, okay? I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly, but 3 or 4 episodes ago, I told the people, my people, I told them.
Okay, you're back now. You're back. Yeah, because you were
Okay,
lagging big time.
I don't know. It's Starling things. I don't know. I told my people
Yeah.
here, like 3 or 4 episodes ago, that all of these ideas, it wasn't about Xbox, but I said all of these ideas from the bottom going to the top, being filtered from management member to management member, from all these guys in suits, and being like completely sterilized, and at the end of the line, what do we at the structure of this monumental pyramid of 14 layers.
Damn, dude.
Like, I have told you before, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. It wasn't about Xbox, but Xbox is like that, and I told you about that.
Yeah.
It's like extremely moronic and stupid to run a business like that. Why do you need 14 layers? And to be honest, to make it clear for everybody, let's say the top layer is one guy, okay? Let's say this is Asha Sharma at the moment, okay? Below her, it's, let's say, her assistant. Below that, it's not just one guy, probably. It's maybe two. Below that, it's 4, 5. Below that, it's 10, 15. Below that, who knows? Like, these layers are not just one people. That's why it's layers.
And do you
Can you
know?
imagine how many
And I,
people are managing this shit?
and I will tell you something that she introduced that Xbox didn't have, and one role that they didn't have, it was a COO, a Chief Operator Officer, which is
They didn't
basically,
have.
yeah, they didn't have it in these 14 layers. They didn't have a COO, dude. It's crazy. They didn't have a Chief Operator Officer, Operating
how
Officer.
how's that?
I
I
don't
mean,
know, dude. I don't know, honestly. I don't know how is that happen. You know, I mean, it's just like all the companies, the big companies, they have it, and they in these 14 layers, they didn't have like one of the most like important ones. But
Like,
one of the good things that happened, at least, like obviously it's devastating for people that they lost their jobs. But we, based on some of the things that we watched, like some of the articles and all that, they say that there is a lot of management that is gone right now, which
mm,
is finally once we lost a lot of people. Don't get me wrong,
they
but these people, they should hold themselves accountable as well, because these people, they greenlit projects, as I said to you on the last like episode, or like 2 episodes ago. These people, they greenlit projects,
yeah,
overpriced projects, which is crazy if you actually think about it. Like how you came up, like watching an idea, watching all that, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna give like 100 million for this game. How you will do that, dude? Like you need to
that's
actually
crazy. That's crazy.
have some sense. And these people learning that some of these people, they're already gone from this compound, from Xbox. It's really good, because finally someone has to fire these people as well.
Yeah. They said that they're going to lower the layers of management up to 5.
3 to 5, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what's
up
thinking.
to 5. Yeah, so that from 14, that's amazing news. Like we couldn't get any better news than that. It was
Yeah,
what
as
I don't
we
know what to say.
as we already mentioned, as you can understand, guys, like some decisions pass through an excessive number of management layers, an excessive number.
Mhm.
And as I said, now accountability became fragmented, and the organization became slower and more expensive. That's one of the things that she wrote as well, and I totally get it. And where we're leading this conversation today, definitely you will understand that this is a fact.
Mhm.
Like Xbox continue investing in more teams, more projects, and longer development cycles with the core business weakened. That's what it is. That's what it is in the end of the day. Like when you actually spending and funding all these projects spending a long time to make a game, to deliver a game, and on top of that, they asking a lot of money as well. And you are fine with that. Phil, it seems that he didn't have any strict. He wasn't strict at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't have any, you know, deadlines, anything. Just like take your time and play your game and make your game. You know what I mean? But how, dude? Like how you can let, for example, one of the biggest examples, right? How you let Bethesda making Elder Scrolls 6. We had the first announcement trailer in 2018. 8 years later, we haven't got
Yeah.
anything. And
Anything,
based
yeah.
on the last reports that they said, Todd Howard said that we are way too early in development. And I was like, bro, it's been 8 years. Like,
We
what
need
do you
to be
mean
in
we're
more
early?
detail.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like 8 years, dude. What the studio does, like, what what they doing? Really, what they
Four
doing all
times
these
the
years?
map of Fallout 4.
Oh my
Like
god, bro! Like,
it's crazy. Like the situation with Bethesda is like a meme at this point.
yeah,
Like be being like the last trailer was 8 years ago, so you would suppose that development was like 1 or 1.5 years before that. So it's almost like a decade now that Elder Scrolls 6 is in development, and it's like how and if it's in the early stages of development, how did you produce the trailer back in 2018? Like how does that make sense? Like
yeah.
it doesn't at all.
Do you want, before we jump to Bethesda, because it's gonna be a long like conversation? Do you want to actually speak about like which teams were affected from
Yeah,
the
sure,
layoffs?
sure.
So first of all, I think it was like Bethesda, as we said. You know, just to mention quickly, 4 studios, they left Xbox, and which was Compulsion Games, Double Fine Productions, Ninja Theory, and Dead Labs, as we already mentioned. And there is Arcane Fronts is still under consultation.
Hmm.
So they don't know exactly if they will close it or like sold it. I don't know. But I saw a Twitter, like it was Rafael Colantonio, I think his name is, the first, basically the founder of Arcane, and he was making a joke like, "How much you selling?" or something, and fans were like, "Yeah, let's take it, bro, take it, please." That would have been massive, no? But yeah,
Yeah.
layoffs affected like Bethesda game studios, ID Software, which is, in my opinion, some of the people that they left from ID. I was like, why? Because I heard that there was a lot of like programmers, and
Mm.
we're talking about like top level programmers. ID making Doom. I want to remind you, and Doom games are all like exceptional
Yeah.
games. You know what I mean? Like you cannot leave this talent. Like even if you don't, if you think that ID is bloated and you want to cut them like in half or like in two-thirds, you cannot just like get rid of this top talent of programmers. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just like move them to different studios. You need them. You need these people. You know what I mean? Like these people are very talented. Not all that all the others they are not, but it's already been proven that ID software like creates amazing games.
Yes. These games I've played like two of the new Doom games. Technically, they are fantastic. One of the best in the industry. Like
Yeah,
you need these programmers because they're not just good. They are
masters.
like 0.1 percentile top performers, and you cannot just let them go. You
Yeah,
cannot. Like you have to do what you can to keep them in the company, because if Xbox is a huge company,
yeah,
so if you don't need them in one place, you can use them in another. I don't know what the deal was with that.
yeah.
I'm calling it like one bad decision amongst like other good ones, and then,
Hmm.
it, they cannot just all be winners,
Yeah, I know. It's
but then
then
I don't
yeah.
know.
Well,
I don't
what do
know
you
if
want to
that's the
say?
right call.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if
don't
that's the
know
right
either,
call. I
dude.
don't
Because I think it's a top talent. In my eyes, it's very top talent. You know, what I mean, like these people are top tier. Anyway, let's carry on. Like
considering they are who they are top talent. It seems like a bad decision, but we don't
also,
know what's going on internally in the company. So
definitely. We have some cats, major cats actually, from Zenimax Online Studios, which is basically, the Elder Scrolls Online team.
mhm.
Obsidian Entertainment, it had some, approximately one quarter of the Obsidian was reportedly laid off. Reportedly, one quarter. And we
It's
have
huge.
some nice news for Obsidian, to be honest with you, because I'm really excited of what's coming from Obsidian.
Mm.
And wider Xbox organization, obviously, like Activision, Blizzard, King, Mojang, Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, ZeniMax, as we already mentioned. Um, the next thing that I want to speak about is like, I actually, we cannot like getting on their shoes 100%. We cannot. But I would like to speak to you about like, no, to speak like, I want your opinion actually. What do you think? How is the employee morale at the moment in Xbox, especially when you know that the next year another 1600 they will go, but
Could
they
be
don't
you.
know. Yeah, they don't know anything about it. So, what do you think? How you think about that? Like,
If I was working at a company like that, if I got an email and the email said that 1,600 people are leaving, effective immediately, and 1,600 more will leave in the next fiscal year, I'd be terrified.
yeah,
Like it's it would be so disheartening. uh it would be so frightening as well, because these are people, and these are, this is their livelihood. Maybe they don't have anything else going on, and they are dependent on this job. From outside I can say that, it is what it is, and it's sad that they lose a job, but it is what it is. But when you're an employee, it's not, it's really not, it is what it is. This is my life, this is how I
Exactly.
go by. And if I knew that I could be the next on the line, uh let's just say that, the rest of the employees that are still in Xbox and working, I highly doubt that these people are going to be high performers anymore, even if they were at one point. Like,
Yeah, especially in
being,
this creative media, like
yeah,
you destroying the whole creativity, like working in this, let's say, natural selection kind of environment.
yeah. I
Like
mean, if you have, internally, we don't know what's going on, but if you have some insurances that you're not going to be laid off, maybe you could perform. But
let's be
being
honest,
in a
that's what
company,
yeah. Carry on, carry on.
being in a company that, you're sleeping and waking up not knowing if you're going to be laid off, you
Yeah,
know.
it's tough, 100%. But I think that the top talent already have assurances that they're not going away.
I mean, maybe.
But yeah, but which is not sure actually what I'm saying, because I'm saying that, but the ID software case proves otherwise. You know what I mean? Just like proves the opposite. Actually, it's just you can't really predict what's going to happen, and that's why these companies, they are not like, they cannot like laid off or like fire someone themselves, and they bring people from outside to actually do the evaluation, because they don't want anything to be like based on background, nationality, everything is or like personal, whatever, everything is performance.
Yeah,
You're working well, you're gonna stay on your job, at your job. But the thing is, natural selection sometimes is not a bad thing.
yeah.
Sometimes the better stays. That's how it is in in that's how it's the thing's been like everywhere in the world, you know what I mean?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Performance based criticism and, evaluation is the best evaluation. We don't need these DEI, this diversity criteria to, hire and fire people. If
Yeah,
you are good enough at what you do,
you don't need all this
you
stuff.
you don't need all this stuff. You're gonna stay. If you're not good enough, there is no place for you to stick around. I'm sorry. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I
And
think that's what they're trying to do now. Like people, if they're capable, they will stay. It's not about
yeah,
like
that's
what
what
is your backgrounds
that's
and all
what we
that.
need to
Like
do. Yeah, I try to stay away from the political stuff, but if one thing I will stand behind and support my opinions on is that when it comes to business, you keep the guy that does the business as best as possible. There is no excuse, no criteria except performance. Performance good, business good. Performance bad, business bad.
yeah,
That's how
because
it
bro,
works.
all the this email literally like states all the facts around like Xbox and how that's what I said at the beginning. It was is a sinking ship.
Yeah.
So you cannot like they didn't wake up one day and they were like, oh, we'll start like manslaughter, the whole like
Mm.
company. Obviously, there was a huge problem. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, you needed someone with guts to take these decisions and not see game in based on the criticism that he had, that he has zero clue around like about gaming, so doesn't have any gaming backgrounds or whatever, and then he's been criticized about that. But at the end of the day, she did an amazing job. You know what I mean? Like in my eyes, at least, she tried to make some changes. Tried to save Xbox. You know what I mean? And what is the most, you know, important thing in my eyes. She tried to do that, and other people, they might have, like, you know, a huge, like, manslaughter. Studios, they will burn to the ground because they didn't perform very well and all that. And yeah, like, you have this person, is he actually, like, trying to find solutions to all these studios that don't close. Yeah, mate, that's good. That's good. That's what I'm saying. Like,
The,
that's really good from her. She did an amazing job
mhm.
there. But obviously,
the
as an employee, because I want to stick a little bit to the topic, it wouldn't. It's not nice to work under these conditions.
mhm.
Like, if people watching us from Xbox, like, try to find a job, guys. For if you think that you're unsafe, try to find a different job. I know that is difficult because that is your dream or whatever, but what else
Yeah.
can you do? You cannot stay in an environment that it's not safe for you anymore, and for you and your family. You know what I mean? Like,
If you think your job isn't secure enough, you should move
go.
away first, because if you move away, you could do it safely and not be unemployed for a while before you find something else. I assume that if you're good at what you do, it's not going to take too much time to find something else. But if you feel unsafe, like, find something else to do. But when it comes to Asha and the decisions that she's making, in my eyes, from what I've seen, these decisions, are harsh to say the least. But it seems that from these decisions, the company is actually going to grow. Like, I sense that these are decisions that are going to help the company grow in the future. But at the same time, I get this feeling that she actually cares that things go well. I'm not sure why, but I get this feeling that she cares about this company, and I think she cares that she's doing a good job for everyone, for business and for gamers. Like, she cares about the community. She's trying to do her best on the business side of things. I think she's doing a fantastic job for the time being. I
And
think
see,
she's
yeah,
doing a good job.
and the thing is that she's ambitious as well. Like, you can tell, like, she wants to actually, you know, see this company grow again and
Yeah.
try to save it.
Yeah, she
But
said this is gonna be they're gonna be the number one platform by 2030, right?
yeah, yeah, she said something like that. But, you know, I mean, like, I'm always like, ambition is not a bad thing. Like, it's good to be an ambitious person, but on the other hand, just, you need to be realistic as well, if you think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Because I'm gonna quote exactly what said. Like, okay, I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. I know we can
Okay.
achieve this goal. Xbox has many of the most beloved franchise, which they have, and that's where we're going right now, in
Mm-hmm.
entertainment history, talented studios around the world, and we will return to growth in 2027. Like, 1 billion people, that's crazy, man. More than 1 billion.
Well, she didn't say Game Pass subscribers, because we know that's a dream.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
God,
but
thank God.
yeah, it is ambitious, yeah, to say the
Yeah,
least.
it's
I
way.
didn't know she made that statement, but 1 billion, bro,
Yeah,
1 billion.
at
Does
least.
even like Netflix have 1 billion like streams a day?
No, no, no. I don't think so, dude. I don't know, to be honest with you, but I don't think so. Because it doesn't even have, like, so many subscribers. I think it has like 350 million or something like that. I might be wrong on this one.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah. Uh That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to mention that before, like we stop, like with your email and stuff,
Mhm.
because I found it a little bit crazy. But she's ambitious, at least. That might
Why
not
is it
be.
crazy?
She knows that's not a realistic number. I think she just did it just to show that I want to actually work and I have this goal in my head that I want to achieve. She knows that it's an unreachable goal, but at least
Okay.
when you're aiming high and you know that you need to do that slowly, slowly, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You will see growth
Probably
regardless.
it's the strategy of aiming the highest to just hit high. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Sky's the
Who
limit,
knows?
kind of. So, yeah,
Sky's the limit. So she aimed for the sun, like
yeah.
directly. Anyway.
There is some changes though internally, like as we said, like Obsidian like lost some of the stuff of their stuff. You know, I mean, there's one third of the company like got like laid off, and apparently they are not interested. Not they're not interested at the moment. Yeah, they want to focus to bring the big franchises back.
Mhm.
So they decided that Obsidian, maybe they need to stop like making the new Avowed, because they were working on a new Avowed before all these announcements. And Xbox decide to give Fallout series to Obsidian. So now we either gonna get a new Fallout completely, or we're gonna get a new Vegas remake or remaster,
No.
because that was their game. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I don't think that is a bad idea, especially when the creative director of the game, and the lead director of the game is gonna be Josh Sawyer, I think, which was the guy that he made basically New Vegas.
Mhm.
It's a very good news for Obsidian, and if Todd Howard believes that he will lose his control over his IPs, I think we gave him enough time. Xbox gave him enough time to take advantage of these amazing IPs, these beloved IPs, but they didn't do anything about it, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like the last real Fallout, it was real. The last single player RPG as we know it, you know what I mean? Released in 2015. And
Yeah.
people that are
We don't
so
talk about
baffled.
the. We don't talk
Fallout
about the.
76. It wasn't like I know that you're gonna say. So Fallout 76. It wasn't a bad game, but the problem with Fallout 76, it wasn't the Fallout that people wanted. It was
Mhm.
a live service game with a lot of problems. Let's be honest, but yeah, it wasn't what people expected. Even though they sell well, Fallout 76 sold really well. But the thing is, yeah, everyone was expecting a new Fallout, maybe New Vegas 2 or whatever, and that's what we see. It seems that we will get eventually. I don't know, dude. Just like Bethesda, I don't know what they're doing, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's we came back like to this conversation. Like, I don't know what they're doing all these years, all this stuff, all these studios. What they're doing, bro? They made
Probably
okay.
nothing.
They made Starfield. Okay, Starfield is a big game. Don't get me wrong, but don't tell me when you have like a company with not even a little bit more than 1,000 people, right? CD Projekt Red making Cyberpunk, and after Cyberpunk, they hire like a lot of people, and now they working almost like 600 or 700 people. They working on Witcher 4 to make it,
Hmm.
and then they have another like 200 people, 160 people working on Cyberpunk, the new Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? Project Orion, I think Orion, how they call it.
Hmm.
So this is a new Cyberpunk, dude. These people they working on this game,
Yeah.
and if Witcher 4 it will be available in 2028. Will get released. I think in the next like 3 years we'll have, or maybe 2 years after that, we'll have Cyberpunk. Like you cannot tell me that Bethesda, that has probably like 4 times the numbers of employees and studios all over the world, that they cannot work in multiple projects. So they were fine all these years making so many new editions for Skyrim and making Starfield or whatever, and
What's
now
wrong
they
with 1,000 Skyrims, man? What's wrong with it?
there's bro, there is nothing wrong, but come on.
I could think of something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, carry on.
like sitting on an IP like Fallout and Elder Scrolls for so many years, it makes me think that you're not doing nothing with them. Like it's not like you're bad at what you're doing. It's not delaying. It's not taking your time. You're not doing anything with it. Like that's the only logical explanation conclusion I could get to. Like after all these years, you've released the last game was Fallout 76. Although it sold well, as you said, it was a disaster. There is an amazing video from the Internet Historian if you would like to check it out.
Yeah,
Shout
that
out.
was
Yeah. You could
that was
you could
funny,
see
bro.
collectively everything that went wrong, and a lot of shit went wrong with that game.
Yeah, the whole timeline.
Yeah, but after that we got like Starfield wasn't great as well. It was a good game, was okay, but it wasn't great. But we haven't seen anything new from Fallout. We haven't seen anything new from the Elder Scroll series. My opinion is that they're doing nothing with those IPs.
Do you know what baffles me though?
No.
And I don't get it. I just like cannot actually comprehend it. Like they seem that they care a lot about Fallout. Like they were making a new TV show, bro. They were making a new TV
I
show,
mean,
and
yeah.
the TV show it was huge, and it's still like is already, there is a hype around it. So when you have like the first season and the second season that people loved it, and obviously after the first season you have like a large number of people hyping it,
Mhm.
and you seem that you care about this franchise and you want to actually like break to different like mediums and you know just put it on as a TV show and then potentially a movie in the future. Who knows? You telling me that the whole thing, that the whole franchise, gaming franchise, like you don't doing anything with this. Like I cannot understand it, dude. Like how
My
you
my
care too
guess
much
is
about the TV show and you don't care anything at all like
my
to make
guess
it
is
new.
that they don't care because somebody bought the rights to make the TV show and they're just hands off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care because somebody else is producing the TV show. Like doesn't really doesn't make sense, but at the same time it does, because if you don't care you could just go like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll take your money for the rights, you can make the TV show. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead. I mean, doesn't
But
there are missed opportunities. Yeah, if the TV show is made and it's huge,
it is
you could
huge, and
you could grow your fan base and make something new. But
but they seem that they actually care because it wasn't just like gave it to Amazon and then forget about it. Like Todd Howard was one of the top consultants of the game of the series. You know what I mean? Like he was basically there to see everything and take
okay.
decisions and stuff. You know what I mean? Probably he was one of the executive producers of the series. I'm not quite sure though, but he
Okay,
was big. He was there.
I mean, if he was there it's a good sign at least, but I don't know, man. I have my problems with Howard. I'm gonna be honest. I like.
I think he did the same thing as Spencer, in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
he has like a huge studio with huge IPs, and he gives way too much time to the team and creativity, whatever. And yeah, I do get it, but you cannot just like leave some franchises back.
Yeah.
You know that we already spoke about like franchise fatigue. We already spoke about all that in previous episodes. But some franchises they need to carry on because
Yeah.
they have the recipe to keep carry on forever.
Hmm.
Like Elder Scrolls, amazing lore, and we haven't seen anything from Elder Scrolls. Really,
Yeah.
five installments is nothing of how
For
big
a world
this.
this big, yeah.
Yeah, and the same goes about like Fallout as well. Like, and especially when you don't build your whole game into a protagonist with a
Hmm.
protagonist in mind,
Yeah.
like Master Chief or like
Yeah. Yeah.
Ezio, Altair, Desmond Miles, whatever. You know what I mean. Like when you creating your own character, like you giving these like RPG freedom to create your character, like and do all that. These games they will be forever.
Yeah.
Like same goes with with Baldur's Gate. You know, what I mean, like you have like three different like protagonists for six different protagonists, but at the end of the day, you creating your own character,
Yeah.
and
You are the main character.
yeah, and then and the world is the main character in these games. You know what I
Hmm.
mean, which is very important. And as we know already, D&D is huge, and BG3's Baldur's Gate, the Baldur's Gate games, there will be so many of them down the in the future. But it's not
Hmm.
like we have one game and that's it. When you base your game, the problem is when you base the game, your game actually in a protagonist that after a while he needs to die somehow. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So what's gonna do after? What are you gonna do after? That's where I'm criticizing companies and say, what I mean, like you need to stop it. You need to
Yeah.
stop this franchise because now you don't have the protagonist that make it big or like
It's
this
over.
very yeah, it's the important guy. So it's over. Go ahead. But
Yeah.
games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, come on, bro. I'm not saying to don't be creative and make a new game, Starfield, for example, which sold well. It could sell like way better in my opinion if it wasn't like the stupid Game Pass. But yeah, like these two games are big, dude. Like you need to put them on rotation while you're making a new game if you want to make a new game.
Hmm.
But because they see that you don't do anything with the Fallout, they're like, you know what? Obsidian now will not gonna won't make like a new Avowed, new Pillars of Eternity, new whatever. They will stick to Outer Worlds, and probably that. We'll take one of your IPs, give it to Fallout, give it to Obsidian. You know what I mean? You like it or not, you don't own these IPs anymore.
Yeah.
Xbox owns them. And if they want to make a shooter, like a Fallout shooter, and they want to give it to ID Software, they will give it to ID
They will.
Software, and you can't do anything about it. If
Yeah.
you don't do anything about it, someone else will.
Sucks to be you, Todd.
Yeah, dude.
I wanted 32 times the detail this time.
16 times, yeah.
I think it's I
And
think
that
it's
was
we
a
should
meme.
I think we should lay off an hour. I mean,
And who knows,
I've
dude? They might teach them the lesson that they actually need to become faster and more efficient.
yeah. I mean, having deadlines like is not a bad thing as long as it's not like, we should like, oh, we should have the game ready in a year and a half or 2 years. Like, how are we gonna do that? I don't care. We need it ready. Like, that's a bad deadline. But you cannot just let people develop forever for no reason. You should have like some sort of deadline. Like, okay, we know that games take forever these days to develop, and
Yeah,
at least until now without AI's help. But let's say, okay, we have a 5-year deadline. Okay, 5 years go by. You speak with your development team. The manager's like, oh, we need like if like 2 years more to finish the game. It's not ready yet.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, 2 more years. Like 2 more years pass. Oh, the game. Why the game is not ready, bro? We have the deadline. Like,
but but that's what I want to, that's what I'm saying. Like, your point goes perfectly to Elder Scrolls, like,
mhm.
literally. But when Xbox came in and say, you know what, from now on, not from now on, like the next Fallout will come from Obsidian. It means that they didn't even have a foundation
No,
of the new Fallout. Like, they completely forget it, and that's why I'm saying to you, I cannot like comprehend this decision. Like, how you forget this franchise that you basically gave the rights a couple of years ago for them to create a new show, a TV show.
I told you they forgot. They didn't do anything about it, and was like, oh, okay. Hello, uh, Todd. Are you doing anything for Fallout? No, I'm actually not. Okay, Obsidian will take over. Like, uh, it's I'm not sure. Of course, I haven't don't have any
Yeah,
internal info or
internal.
whatever.
Yeah,
But it's to me it's as plain as day. Like they didn't have anything planned or whatever. Didn't have even a basic structure of a game and not even any ideas for the game. And X was like, okay, we're gonna assign a new team to the project. They're like that. That's
yeah.
because it's a sitting duck. What is the IP going to do in your hands? Like nothing. You're developing Elder Scrolls 6 for the past like 10 years and you're doing nothing. We've seen nothing. I don't know, dude. I'm just
We've
getting mad at this point.
yeah, we've seen. I think like the last like few months we've seen a lot of aggressive management, and in my opinion, we need that. Xbox need
Hmm.
that. You know what I mean? Like, because there is, as I said like earlier about like Phil Spencer, they seem that they gave a lot of like time. Like, they were treating basically the studios like, guys, chill. This is like a paradise here, and then you can take all the resources that we have and all the time of the world and just make the game that you want to make. Businesses, they're not working like that. It's just like, how oh my goodness, bro, it's unbelievable, dude. Like,
If I could go to work and my boss was like, "Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can, take your time." I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Yeah, hell yeah, dude."
yeah, definitely, dude, definitely.
Yeah, but shit doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
Like
definitely, in
it's
the real world, definitely no. Hopefully, that's what I hope, right?
Mhm.
I hope the right thing now. Okay, do not say anything. I see you. I see you. Yes, you.
Okay, sorry.
Hopefully, we'll get better games,
Yeah.
because that's what we need, bro. That's what we need. All these bad decisions that you mentioned at the beginning of the episode, they were together with the bad games. You know what I mean? How and yeah, how you can actually grow a practice like Game Pass if you don't release a very very good games, which is basically like your marketing, your advertising.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that we need to focus right now on
When
Xbox.
it what everything comes down to is good video games. We just
Yeah.
need some good games to play. Everything else comes after the fact. That's it. So, thank you everyone so much for watching another episode of the Gamelitical Correct podcast. We have been your hosts. If you enjoyed this form of content, hit that subscribe button and like the
Come
video.
on, bro. Come
We
on, do
always
it. You can do it. You can
you
do
can
it.
do it. We always love to hear your comments down below the video, and we love to make discussions with you and talk about video games. So feel free to leave your comments down below. Thank you again so very much for watching. We will see you next time.
See you.
Bye bye.
Peace.